Hello students, welcome to this session of Environment and Ecology. Today, we'll discuss about previous year questions related to pollution. In the last session, we have already started with our discussion of previous year questions related to pollution. Now, we will resume our discussion of those questions. Now, we'll be discussing about 2020's question. So, you can see the trend. These days, that means since 2018, the number of questions that are being asked from pollution has increased. So, for 2019, almost 4 questions. For 2020, there are 4 to 5 questions asked from this particular topic of pollution. Fine. So, let us discuss this topic. So, 2020's question now, and this question is related to benzene pollution. Which of the following are reasons factors for exposure to benzene pollution? Statements are: first, automobile exhaust; second, tobacco smoke; third, wood burning; fourth, using varnished wooden furniture; fifth, using products made up of polyurethane. Fine. So, from or out of these statements given to you, you have to identify what leads to exposure or release of benzene. Fine. So, you have to select correct statements from this. Let us discuss this question. So, benzene is a chemical that is colorless and light yellow liquid, and its smell is sweet odor, and it is highly flammable liquid. Fine. So, benzene is a colorless kind of yellow liquid with sweet odor but highly flammable liquid. Benzene evaporates into air very quickly. Its vapor is heavier than air and may sink into low-lying areas. So, whenever it is exposed to air, it may be converted into vapor, and as the vapor of benzene is heavier than air, it will sink to the low-lying areas in regions where it has been emitted. Benzene dissolves only slightly in water and will float on top of water. Fine. So, the benzene have very weak dissolving property with respect to water. Benzene is formed from both natural and human induced processes. So, the sources of benzene are both natural as well as human induced. So, natural sources of benzene include volcanoes and forest fires. So, forest fires not only leads to emission of methane, carbon monoxide, oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, but along with that, it also leads to emission of benzene. Benzene is also a natural part of crude oil, gasoline, and cigarette smoke. Some industries use benzene to make chemicals that are used to make plastics, resins, nylon, synthetic fibers, etc. Fine. And outdoor air contains low levels of benzene from tobacco smoke, gas stations, motor vehicle exhaust, and industrial emissions. So, apart from those natural sources, the activities like tobacco smoke, gas station release, motor vehicle exhaust, and industrial emissions lead to addition of benzene in the outdoor environment. Indoor air generally contains levels of benzene higher than outdoor air. The benzene in indoor air comes from products that contain benzene such as glues, paints, furniture wax, and detergents. The air around hazardous waste sites or gas stations can contain higher levels of benzene, and that's why the statements given in this question, all those statements are correct statements with respect to emission of benzene. So automobile exhaust, yes. Tobacco smoke, wood burning, that means forest fire, you can consider forest fire. Using varnished wooden furniture, we have seen that paints, varnishes, they contain benzene. Using products made from polyurethane also leads to pollution with respect to benzene. And that's why all these are the statements which are true with respect to benzene pollution. And hence answer is 1, 2, 3 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 mentioned in D. Right? So that is about first question from 2020. Next, see, official key for this year is not available. Official key for 2020 is not available as of now because process is not completed for 2020. So official key is not available. Next question now from 2020 itself. Steel slag can be the material for which of the following? Steel slag can be the material for which of the following? First, construction of base road. Second, improvement of agricultural land. And third, production of cement. You have to select correct statement for the use of steel slag. So steel slag, as name suggests, is a byproduct of steel making activity, and it is produced during separation of molten steel from impurities. The slag occurs as molten liquid melt, and it is a complex solution of silicates and oxides that solidifies upon cooling. So primarily the steel slag consists of silicates. Next, the use of steel slag as an aggregate is considered a standard practice in many jurisdictions. So it can be used as an aggregate for granular base in the production of or in the construction of roads. Next, embankments, engineered fill, highway shoulders and hot mix asphalt pavements. And that's why it can be used in all the activities mentioned in this question as a base for construction of road, as a material for the development of or for the improvement of agricultural land, and finally production of cement. Right? So all these are the uses of steel slag, and hence answer is D, all of the above. Next question. In rural road construction, just a minute. In rural road construction, the use of which of the following is preferred for ensuring environmental sustainability or to reduce carbon footprint? So, what material should be used in rural road construction so that we can ensure environmental sustainability and we can reduce carbon footprint in rural areas? So those materials should have green properties. That means those materials should not be producing lots of emissions in the form of carbon dioxide or other greenhouse gases. Similarly, they are produced or they should be produced with the use of renewable sources of energy. And that's why we will have to find out only those material which are considered as or which have the procedures which are environmentally friendly. So the statements are: first, copper slag; second, cold mix asphalt technology; third, geotextile; fourth, hot mix asphalt technology; and fifth, Portland cement. So here what we'll do, we'll use the elimination method, because what we are supposed to find out, we have to find out those products that can reduce emissions as well as carbon footprint in rural areas. When we consider hot mix asphalt technology, In hot mix asphalt technology, this asphalt that is used for road construction is, is a liquid, and that liquid binds together sand or other raw material that is used for road embankments or road constructions, right? So whenever we use hot mix method for asphalt production, we are burning lots of fossil fuel, and it may be in the form of wood, and that's why this should not be the environmentally friendly technique for rural road construction, because it leads to production of lots of pollution, as well as it also generates greenhouse gases, and hence this should be eliminated from these options that are being given. So eliminate fourth statement from your answer. So you should eliminate this one and this one, right? So now you are left with A and D. First is correct because it is there in all the, or it is there in both these options. Now, whenever we whenever we want to make sure that the road construction is environmentally friendly, we will use such material which will have natural origin, and geotextiles have natural origin. For example, jute, as a result of jute or coir, they can be used, or jute or coir is a geotextile. That means they are produced with natural activities, and they are allowed to be used in road construction activities, and hence geotextile should be there in your answer. And that's why third statement should be there, and hence answer is 1, 2 and 3, right? Why not Portland cement? Because we know that whenever Portland cement is being manufactured, it leads to generation of lots of particulate matter. Moreover, for the manufacturing of Portland cement, we are using fossil fuels, and that's why this should not be used for environment friendly road construction in rural areas. Similarly, cold mix asphalt technology. With this particular technology, we are producing asphalt based upon cold, or based upon those methods which do not need burning up of fossil fuels, and hence it is also an environmentally friendly method. First is copper slag. See, it is a result of activities of extraction of pure copper. And whenever copper slag is produced, slag as a byproduct of copper industry, copper manufacturing or copper extracting industry, it is considered as environmentally friendly byproduct. And hence, all these can be used for production of or construction of roads in rural areas for greener or environmental sustainability, as well as low carbon footprint in rural areas. Fine, and hence answer is 1, 2 and 3 mentioned in option A. Next now. So you can go through this particular discussion at this particular explanation at your home. Next question. Consider the following statements. First, coal ash contains arsenic, lead and mercury. Second statement, coal-fired power plants release sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen into the environment. And third statement is, high ash content is observed in Indian coal, right? So you have to find out correct statements from these three statements mentioned in the question. And the question is about coal ash. And see, we have discussed about coal ash earlier also, which is nothing but fly ash. Which is nothing but fly ash, right? Because fly ash is produced as a result of burning up of coal in thermal power plants which use coal as a raw material. And let me take you back few slides back so that you can understand the importance of previous year questions. If you analyze previous year questions properly, they will always help you to channelize your study, and sometimes they will help you in exams because there will be certain questions which will be directly inspired from previous year questions. So let me give you an evidence for that. So this question is about coal ash, which is also called as fly ash. So now I'll be taking you back to those slides where we have discussed about fly ash, and then you will understand that yes, previous year questions can help directly as well. So let me take you back to those slides. Yes, this particular question asked in 2015. So the question is about fly ash, and during our discussion we have discussed that fly ash consists of silicon dioxide and calcium oxide, and at the same time it consists of toxic elements like arsenic, chromium, lead and mercury, right? So this was our discussion for 2015's question. Now let us check the statement for 2020's question. So what this statement mentions: fly ash consists of certain toxic elements like arsenic, chromium, lead and mercury. So let us go back to the 2020 question. Yes. So now read first statement. Coal ash contains arsenic, lead and mercury. So this is the importance of previous year questions. They not only help you to have a direction, but also they will help you sometimes directly to solve questions in your exam. Fine. So first statement is correct statement because we know that coal ash or fly ash consists of certain toxic elements like arsenic, mercury, lead, chromium. Fine. Second statement: coal-fired power plants release sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen into the environment. We know that the prime source of sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen is use of fossil fuels, and coal is one of the fossil fuel, and if coal is used in the production of power in thermal power plants, it obviously will release oxides of sulfur and nitrogen, and that's why second statement is also correct statement. Third statement: high ash content is observed in Indian coal. So one of the problems with Indian coal is that it consists of more concentration or more content of ash, and hence it produces more fly ash, and that is one of the lacunas with respect to the quality of coal in India, right? And that's why all these three statements are correct, and hence answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. Next now. Next question. According to India's national policy on biofuel given in 2018, which of the following can be used as a raw material for production of biofuels in India? Again, we have discussed one question related to biofuel, and this question is again related to biofuel. But here what they have done, they have used or they have given you the raw material which can be or which is allowed by the government through National Biofuel Policy 2018 to be used as a raw material for production of biofuels. So statements are: first, cassava, damaged wheat grains, groundnut seeds, horse gram, rotten potatoes sugar beet, etc. Fine. So you have to identify out of these 6 products which can be used for the production of biofuels. So as per the policy given in 2018, cassava, damaged grains, it may be of wheat, next rotten potatoes and sugar beet can be used for the production of biofuels, and hence answer is 1, 2, 5, 6 mentioned in A, mentioned in option A, and that's why answer is A. So you can read this. The policy categorizes biofuel as basic fuel. So this policy, National Biofuel Policy 2018, it categorizes biofuels in certain categories. First is basic biofuels. That means first generation of bioethanol and biodiesel are basic biofuels. Second, advanced biofuels, that means second generation of biofuels which consist of ethanol, municipal solid waste to drop in fuels, etc. And third generation of biofuels consist of bio CNG, etc. to enable extension of appropriate financial and fiscal incentives under each categories. So these categories are made to make sure that the financial incentives are provided by the government to such categories or the biofuels produced from such categories. And the government has allowed the use of sugarcane juice, sugar containing materials like sugar beet, sweet sorghum, starch containing materials like corn, cassava, this is mentioned in question, sugar beet is mentioned in question, damaged food grains like wheat, broken rice, rotten potatoes, unfit for human consumption for ethanol production, which is a biofuel. And that's why answer is A, 1, 2, and 5, 6. Right? So that was about the discussion of questions related to pollution. In next session, we will resume our discussion of few other previous year questions. And in this session, I hope you have understood the importance of previous year questions. Generally, previous year question and syllabus are considered as a lighthouse. That means they will direct our study. But here, we have also seen that previous year questions also inspire questions for that particular year prelims. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you for your time. I am Rajvardhan Bordekar signing off. Until we meet next time, stay tuned. Thank you.